You know, at the end of the day, this is what it's about. You know, we're going to talk about all kind of different things that we're doing, but at the end of the day, it is about our current student athletes and our fans. Many of you are here because you're fans. You're fanatical about Louisiana Tech athletics, and we appreciate you. And I think that what we're going to be discussing today and announcing today is going to radically change the way that our fans engage and react to a game day environment. But also our coaches. Attracting coaches, having good facilities help attract good coaches as well. And we have some really good coaches here, especially in these three sports that this represents. I'd ask that if Mike White, Teresa Weatherspoon, and Adriana De Souza could stand up and be recognized as well. Today we're announcing a major improvement at the Thomas Assembly Center. A new video board, sound system, and control room. It's a brand new, state-of-the-art, $1.2 million facility. The video board will be 7.5 feet by 11.5 feet. There will not be a better facility, a video board in the country the day that it's installed. It is state-of-the-art. We will be very proud of it. We will showcase it. It's going to change the athletic environment of our facilities. As many of you realize or recognize and remember, the football facility, when we added the video board, it totally changed that atmosphere. Even to this day, the crowds that we have and the energy that is in football can really be kind of turned back to a video board that was installed years ago. And I believe that this video board will do the same, and maybe even to a greater extent, because of the intimacy of the arena. You know, you're closer. You have no choice but to be impacted by this video board. It is something that is expected of a major Division I institution, and we expect nothing less than this quality of facility. The current sound system, by comparison, is $3,000 sound system. It's not bad, but we're putting in a $130,000 sound system. So you can understand that when our great announcer here announces, his voice will resonate very well within the facility. And just as a side note, I am a little disappointed. The video board is the same age as me, and Dr. Renaud, I'm not ready for retirement, but we are going to retire this video board that's the same age as me. It was put in 1981. So I'm not ready for retirement, but we do need to retire this video board that's currently in there. Facilities like this and others, as we all know, cannot happen without great supporters. People that not only will be willing to give of their time, but also of their money. Paul Millsap, a former student athlete here and current NBA player, is one of our major contributors to this project. And this project will be called Millsap Vision, Paul Millsap Vision. And Community Trust Bank, an anchor sponsor for us, is a sponsor that has continued to improve our athletic facilities over the years and help us move forward, will be the presenting sponsor of this video board. At this time, I would like to recognize Lance Hall, Jeff Parker, and Ryan Kilpatrick, and Chris Riegelman. If y'all could all stand, please, and be recognized from Community Trust Bank. Drake Mills would have been here today, but he had other plans, and he does send his regards, and he's certainly excited about this project as well. We have other longtime great supporters, many of you in this room. In fact, in some way, all of you have contributed to facilities, but there are a couple of people that we want to recognize by name that really have contributed in various ways to our athletic facility growth, starting with Dr. Guthrie Gerald. Dr. Gerald, would you stand and be recognized? We're in the Gerald room, so it's appropriate that we recognize you. Justin Hinckley is here, a guy that gives so much of his time and efforts, but also his financing. Justin, would you stand and be recognized? And Mr. John Allen, saw him, who was alumnus of the year this past year. Then lastly, a family that has done so much for our university and for this athletic department, and representing that family, Steve Davison in the back there. So now for the good part. I would say that at this point it's my pleasure, without further ado, to unveil and to announce Paul Millsap Vision, presented by Community Trust Bank.
Tommy, for you being this early in your tenure as athletic director, having this big of a facility improvement, what's it mean for you in your short time here?
Well, I mean, certainly, I'm excited to be a part of it. But you know, this is really about our student athletes and our fans. It's totally about them. This has nothing to do with me, and I'm just excited to be a part of it. To be able to be here and to be at this point in time in the history of Louisiana Tech athletics is exciting for anyone, whether you're the athletic director or whether you're just a fan, a ticket holder. This is an exciting time. So it's really about our student athletes and our fans and our coaches.
How long will it take to install?
We will begin on October the 12th, and it will go through the October the 29th. That's kind of our time frame. We've done a lot of things precautionary to protect the floor that we just redid. Spent some money there and invested in that. So we will be protecting the floor. They will be bringing in different equipment to take out the current video board, to install the new one. The sound system will not only be in the middle, in the center, but also will be tiered out throughout the arena and will have the ability to be adjusted, which is something that will be really nice for us. If we have a full crowd, we can adjust it at different levels, within the different levels of the arena, versus if we're have a lesser crowd, we can adjust it differently based on where the crowd is. So it'll be not only be in terms of amplified, but also quality and kind of smart sound, which is part of what we upgraded to.
Besides the audio, what are some other differences with a video board like this?
Well, obviously I think we've all been in arenas where we have the video board and what that does in terms of replays and game day experience and videos that get the fans engaged. It'll certainly have the ability to do all those things that we're familiar with. One of the things that we are very excited about is actually probably the least appealing of the project is the control room, because what this is going to allow us to do is moving forward is actually to save money within our department, instead of continuing to outsource the production of our football video board and then now this board. By building a control room, from now on, we'll actually be able to do the football video board and the basketball video board within the control room at the Thomas Assembly Center, which was a cost savings on us as we move forward, actualized out over years.
You're just going to give a timetable on how this all happened?
I think this is something that's been going on for a while in terms of the idea of it. When I came on board August 1, it certainly was something that was immediately on the agenda. We had to secure some funding. There was quite a bit of funding already secured, but we had to secure some more. We are seeking some additional funding to finish it out. So if anyone in the room is interested, please let me know. Adam McGurtin is in the back of the room. So we are doing that. But we had to kind of get to a certain point. When these projects happen, you're kind of up against the wall, because the reality is you can't do a project like this once the season starts. Because the time frame that it takes to do it, once it starts, you'd have to go to next year. Well, that really wasn't an option for us in terms of we wanted to get it done for this year. With the success that we had last year, with the historical success that we have in women's basketball, we wanted to have it this year. Time was of the essence. But we also had to reach a certain point where we would lower our risk financially, and we were able to meet that threshold and then move forward while still seeking other donations.
Perspective, what does the video board bring the most? You said that it brings the game even more intimate when it's basketball, but what do you see as the biggest thing for the fans?
I think I liken it to this. I said this before, and I don't know what the decades were, the numbers. I mean, I guess maybe in the 40s or something. But it's like when the television first came into the living room. I mean, it changed the living room. And the living room was always a living room, and the Thomas Assembly Center has always been a Thomas Assembly Center. But it's going to be like putting television in a living room for the first time. I mean, it's going to enhance all of our entertainment that what we're doing. It's not going to take away from the game. It's going to enhance the game atmosphere. What our student athletes are currently doing, but draw from that. When they make a great play, we're going to be able to highlight that immediately. Historical plays that have been made in our facility, we're going to be able to kind of conjure those back up and view those in terms of replays and video boards. So I think that the biggest thing that it's going to do is just, I think, is really going to trigger an energy that exists there now, but it's going to take it to another level. I'm really excited about what it will do. We talked about this before earlier. I mean, it's just really, it's really going to excite the fans. If before you just came and watched the games, you probably won't be able to just do that anymore, because it's going to prompt you into being engaged in what the student athletes are doing on the court.
What are the advantages of it from a revenue stream?
Well, there's no question. I mean, it's a video board, and so you have the ability to sell advertisement on it, and so with our sponsor with Louisiana Tech Sports Properties, we will be able to have immense. Matter of fact, that's how Community Trust Bank is involved, is actually through the sponsorship element of it. And so there's really no limit to how much revenue can be brought in by it based on the digital aspect of it. It's not a sign. It's not, once you sell a sign on something, it's over with. You can't resell that. But with digital, it's really unlimited on how much you can do. Now, we want to be tactful in our approach to that, because we want to make sure it's not taking away from the game. But it does have the potential to increase our revenue substantially through the video board. So, thank you.
Any other questions for Tommy?
How exactly did Millsap get involved?
That was prior to my arrival. But my understanding is that he was approached and engaged in conversation and dialogue, and is actually, I think, prior to his transitioning even to his new team. So, this is something that he was committed to, that he desired to. I mean, as a former student athlete, I'm sure he recognizes the void that was there in terms of not having that video board, but I was not a part of those discussions, and I look forward to getting to meet Paul and getting to build a relationship with him and work with him as we move forward, because he's his name's on it. I mean, he's a big part of what we're doing here in terms of growing our basketball brand, and he's been a great contributor. It's former student athletes giving back it's a win-win for you, because it really sets a great example for us.